Hey, welcome back into Occupy Democrats. Donald Trump just proved at the absolute highest level of either strength or intelligence just how much of an absolute idiot and a hypocrite he can be. And I'm going to show that story to you in just a few seconds because it comes with some high level condensation against him. But the bottom line is, when you looked yesterday at this gathering of generals, this is exactly how people in this country and the generals view him. Take a quick listen to this.
I've never walked into a room so silent before. This is very... Don't laugh. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, but don't do that.
I'm a man with great common sense and I'm a smart person. Smart people don't like me, you know? And they don't like what we talk about.
Wait, are you smart and smart people don't like you, so you don't like yourself?
And if you want to applaud, you applaud.
And they say, we don't need him. Freedom. He's a dictator.
You can do anything you want. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room.
Oh yeah, don't do that, but I'm not a dictator.
I don't like a dictator. I'm not a dictator.
Oh yeah, do whatever you want, but if you do that, then...
Of course, there goes your rank, there goes your future.
Right, but he's not a dictator. Gotcha. You see, in this breaking story, Donald Trump is so embarrassing, and Pete Hegseth were so embarrassing, that what you wind up with is him, if you don't recall, talking about how much he knows.
They asked me a question about ISIS. And I say to the announcer, I don't really want to answer it. And the next day, these idiots over here say, Trump doesn't know the answer. How would you fight ISIS, Mr. Trump, if you're president? I said, do I have to answer it?
And what he likes to claim he knows is this.
I know more about ISIS than the generals do, believe me.
Now, you don't think some of those generals remember that man said that about them? But the key to this entire breaking story is that Donald Trump also said this.
The reason I don't want to answer because I don't want to tell the enemy if I win. I don't want to have to. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to answer the question because I don't want you to know my plan. No, it's actually because you don't have an answer to the question. Because if you don't want people to know your strategy, then why in the world did you call everybody together in one place, you dummy? Oh, really, Donald? You want to hide secrets and never tell your enemy what you're thinking? Well, here's some of the comments on Platform X yesterday with regards to you and Pete Hegseth's decision to bring 800 generals, plus yourself and Hegseth, in one place. A decision by Pete Hegseth to bring in about 800 most senior generals and admirals in one place for a secretive meeting at Quantico drew fire from retired Lieutenant General Mark Hertling. Hertling pointed out the danger of putting senior military officers from their post all around the world in one spot. It gives America's enemies a chance to create havoc. Second comment, I'm sure all these generals feel like sitting ducks. It's in their blood. Third comment, today in one moment we're going to have the Commander-in-Chief, the Secretary of Defense, the Chairman of Joint Chiefs, and 800 admirals and generals all in the same building. I'd call that a target. OPSEC says you don't gather all your generals together in one place, but TripleSec tells Pete Hegseth to ignore OPSEC. Dummies. And so in this breaking story, now that absurd event yesterday is over at the highest level of our country intelligence in terms of the military, this is the truth of how they feel right here.
Defense officials fume at Pentagon Pete's inexcusable rant to generals. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth left his officials fuming after he summoned hundreds of the U.S. military's top leaders to Virginia from across the globe for a bizarre rant. In an era when top brass can dial in from around the world, Pentagon Pete ordered generals and admirals to converge in person at Quantico, Virginia. The result was a 90-minute spectacle that many in uniform say was a political performance piece that should have been an email. Current and former Pentagon officials told Politico that Hegseth, who prefers to go by the moniker Secretary of War, could have saved both time and money by sending his message by email. Instead, he delivered remarks about fat generals, men with beards, and dudes in dresses to a room packed with senior officers. About 800 generals and admirals were ordered to attend the Virginia event, which Hegseth staged alongside President Donald Trump. The meeting was billed as an attempt to rally the military's leadership, but instead turned into a broadside against woke culture. Officials dismissed the effort as a wasteful stunt meant to push grooming standards that align with the MAGA agenda. Even before the gathering, some military leaders raised alarms about the risks of concentrating so many senior figures in a single room. It's a waste of time for a lot of people who emphatically had better things they could and should be doing, a former senior defense official told Politico. It's also an inexcusable strategic risk to concentrate so many leaders in the operational chain of command in the same publicly known time and place to convey an inane message of little merit. One defense official said the event was more like a press conference than briefing the generals. Could have been an email, the official added. Another said the spectacle was a total waste of money and that it was not quite a loyalty test, but on the spectrum of loyalty to ideology. The Daily Beast has contacted the Pentagon for comment. Over the course of 45 minutes, Hegseth railed against woke initiatives within the government. Foolish and reckless political leaders set the wrong compass heading, and we lost our way. We became the woke department, Hegseth told the assembled officers. Not anymore. No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses, no more climate change worship, no more division, distraction, or gender delusions, no more debris. As I've said before and will say again, we are done with that shti, Hegseth said. The defense secretary warned, if the words I'm speaking today are making your heart sink, then you should do the honorable thing and resign. Trump told the audience that anyone opposed to Hegseth's message could leave, but warned, there goes your rank, there goes your future. The remarks came as the Trump administration presses forward in its push to purge the government of what the president calls woke policies and programs. Separately, the Pentagon's Inspector General is preparing to release findings from an investigation into Hegseth, who has faced scrutiny after sharing military attack plans on a Signal chat that included The Atlantic's editor-in-chief, Jeffrey Goldberg.
Sure, there's a good 27% of Americans who are absolutely white Christian nationalists who will not care what Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, Pete Hegseth, Kristi Noem, Caroline Leavitt, Pam Bondi, all of them absolutely destroy in terms of our democracy while calling it democracy and patriotism and being strong. They don't care. We have to understand that. But the bottom line is, let's remember that Pete Hegseth doesn't have close to the intelligence or experience to be doing what he's doing. And Donald Trump, based on having grown up with money from the time he was 10 years old, only knows how to do one thing, and that is find a way to lie and steal enough to remain in control until he can find a way to get you to bend knee. Except these 800 generals and admirals aren't having it, and a good percentage of the country is truly waking up to, and we the people aren't going to put up with it. Like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and you guys stay frosty.